We need to be there in case anyone comes out of that fire injured or, God forbid, something happens to a firefighter.
The crews were not able to gain entry initially due to the amount of fire and the potential for a collapse.
In real life, firefighters aren't going to go into a huge blaze like that, unpredictable and uncontrolled.
At this point, if anyone's in that house, it's pretty unlikely that they're going to survive.
We need to get to the call really quick because if that person is experiencing chest pain caused by a heart attack, their condition can worsen very quickly.
Whenever we have a cardiac patient, we need to do a 12 lead on them. 12 lead gives us a big picture of the heart. That would show us the electrical activity that's going on and if the heart is functioning how it should be. Hey guys.
So when we walk into the room, I notice that she's laying on the bed, which is not abnormal, but it's the way she's laying sideways.
Okay, so heart rate I've got here is 44.
It tells me that something's wrong with her.
She was up and walking today and everything?
Oh yeah, today she walked a bit.
Pain is actually, she said, it's quite severe, but it's on the right side.
I doubt whether it's her heart.
No.
Well, why not?
I do believe.
So I know that this isn't like your last cardiac problems that you had, but sometimes we can have an atypical or a presentation that's not normal. This patient had had cardiac problems before, and she said that this didn't feel like anything that she's already had. Normal presentation for a heart attack would be chest pain radiating into the left shoulder or up into the neck.
She had a bypass and then she had angio.
So I'm gonna take a picture of your heart and just take a look, see what it's doing. We will do that quick here and we'll get the rest of your medical history as well. Okay, we're just gonna hold this arm straight. I'll get you to hold nice and still, okay? I'm not gonna ask you any more questions. I just want you to hold still for a sec.
Right, 2-3 ABF. Send 2 guys back in here. The heart tracing tells me right away that the patient's having a heart attack. See, get stretchered. You need 2 lines and we gotta go. From what we can see right now, there's probably a blockage somewhere that's made your heart go real slow.
1, 2, 3.
So we did a heart tracing just inside the house. There is some damage being done to her heart. Looks like she is having a heart attack.
You okay? Okay. Nice and easy.
Kind of want to make things speedy, move as efficient as we can, and we're going to take her to the hospital where she can see a cardiologist.
I need that monitor right here on the bench, please.
I better take this just in case.
Called for a 36-year-old male who is unconscious but still breathing. We don't have a lot of information at this point in time. We don't know if he's unconscious because of a medical issue, because of drugs or alcohol, or because of a potential injury.
Thanks. So we walk in, I see the fire department has arrived just before us, and the patient is conscious and alert, lying in bed.
Suzanne.
Hi.
A little bit of trouble trying to get a history from him. Sorry, what we got so far tonight is that he ate a little bit of marijuana.
Yeah, he was just sitting on his bed there, holding a cigarette. It was it.
Okay.
But then I couldn't get him to straighten out. He was just stiff. That scared me.
What was your night like tonight? Kind of explain what was all going on and how all of a sudden the paramedics ended up here.
I was trying to watch a figure skating thing on TV.
And who are you to him?
His mom.
His mom.
So do you have any medical problems tonight? Anything bothering you?
Well, it's the normal sequence of stuff happening.
Okay.
Over and over again until it happens again.
That's not an ashtray. That could burn the place down.
Do you have any mental health problems? Bipolar, depression, anxiety?
None that I agree with.
None that you agree with. Okay. His answer is a little bit atypical. Somebody with mental health history quite often will voluntarily say, I have depression, schizophrenia, anxiety, but his response is none that I agree with.
That is why we're living here. He burned down the place that I lived in before.
What have you been diagnosed with?
Bipolar and schizoaffective.
There's a story being told here, and you want to get the perspective of everybody involved and kind of blend it into one cohesive story. Do you want to go to the hospital tonight?
No, I really don't want to.
And I got a call saying that maybe you should go home because your son called. It sounds like your house is on fire.
Okay, I'm just going to chat with your mom here for a minute. Oh my God. So, He doesn't want to go to the hospital.
Well, no, he does not believe in doctors.
How can you not be concerned over his safety or her safety? The fact that he doesn't believe in doctors concerns me, that he doesn't understand the nature of his mental health history.
Let us go now. I'm not leaving your room until we go. So let's go.
But unless he's willing to agree to go to the hospital, there's just not much more we're able to do.
That doesn't matter.
It does matter.
This family obviously has a lot of issues going on, and unfortunately it's not something that we're able to resolve for them.
Put your shoes on, let's go. Why are you not talking to me?
Well, it's a tough spot for him to be in and his mom to be in. He does have a mental health history. He's not actively a threat to himself or others, even though he was smoking in his bedroom. It's more of a matter between him and his mom at this point, and I've explained to her her options in the future if she feels like he's a threat. And that's about all we can do. We tried to convince him several times, several different ways, and if he doesn't want to go, that's the choice that he has to make.
What are you doing? Let's get you up. Come on.
Here, let's get you up. Let's go sit in the back of her truck where we got some good lights, and this way, this way. Our patient's confused, she's agitated, she doesn't want anything to do with this. But because of her state of mind, we have to take her to the hospital. Right this way, right this way. Can you step up? Step up into the truck, yeah. There we go. Up we go.
It's not uncommon for a woman in her predicament to resist being woken up so abruptly.
Oh, she's trying to bite. Trying to bite. No.
We really just wanted to help her, and we can't leave her laying on the sidewalk.
No paramedic wants to restrain a patient, but sometimes our job is to protect people who can't protect themselves.
What's your name? Hey, we're just trying to help you settle down.
As that foot's coming at my head, I'm feeling, hey, this is really going wrong. And I do not want to be kicked in the head tonight.
Just trying to help.
We then tie her down, because if I don't, she's going to try to kick me one more time.
She's probably in talks, which would lead to one combative feature, and based on the area of town she's in, I don't blame her for trying to fight off anybody grabbing her and trying to shove her into a vehicle. Good for her for fighting.
Golden. No one wants to restrain patients, but in this case, we have to act in the best interest of the patient. She's not making the appropriate decisions, and we can't have her getting hurt or hurting us.
What's your name? What's your name? For this young lady, unknown what she took. Very combative, unable to get any information whatsoever from her. No name, no allergies, medical history. Use a soft restraint as well as give her some midazolam to put her to sleep for now, just so we can manage her better.
I don't think she obviously intentionally meant to kick us or bite us. So in order to stop that, we just give her a very potent drug that slows her down, as you can see, and now no one's fighting, and we don't have to worry about her getting hurt.
We'll get her up to the hospital, see if we can't figure out what's going on with her.
Adam and I are driving around and we can smell smoke, so naturally we're curious where it's coming from.
You still see a lot of smoke down there, eh?
It's blowing that way. It's blowing south to north. Oh, wow. It's burning. Oh, my God. With a fire of this size, we hope that no one's in the house, because when people get pulled out of fires like this, they're often critical. We don't see very large fires like this every day.
I was the guy that just called it in. I just banged on that front door for about 10 minutes.
Hopefully there's nobody in the house.
So you went up to the front of the building and...
Yeah, I live on the other side of the alley.
Okay.
And I was having my dog out for a whiz before he went to bed.
Yeah.
And I thought someone was having a large fire, so I called it in, then I went and banged on the door.
With an active fire, our job is to back up the fire department. We need to be there in case anyone comes out of that fire injured, or God forbid, something happens to a firefighter.
Put some burn monitor, drug kit, airway kit, put everything on it, and then that way if someone does come out, then we can do something.
So at approximately 1:45 this morning, fire department received a couple of 911 calls for a residential fire. When the first arriving crew got here, we found flames coming through the second-story roof. The crews were not able to gain entry initially due to the amount of fire that was burning and the potential for a collapse.
In real life, firefighters aren't gonna go into a huge blaze like that, which is unpredictable and uncontrolled.
Apparently, DJ heard that there is actually somebody that apparently lives upstairs in that house. At this point, if anyone's in that house, it's pretty unlikely that they're going to survive. The fire department was finally able to get the fire under control. They searched the house, and thankfully there was no one home. The fire department backs us up often, so it was nice to return the favor.
I'm relieved that there's nobody in the house. I'm always thankful when I don't have a patient because that means that nobody's hurt.
We're going for a fall, and we want to figure out what's the reason behind the fall.
We walk in, I can see an elderly female laying on the ground. She is very sick. She's gray, she's diaphoretic, so she's soaked in sweat, and she's very scared.
Can you tell him your name?
She looks confused, she looks dazed.
So what happened?
Okay. She wasn't feeling very well at supper time.
Okay.
So she didn't finish her supper.
Okay.
And then going to the washroom, and she was in the washroom trying to throw up. She couldn't throw up, so she came back and at the door. She like a fainted, like she was holding the door rim. And,
Do you remember what day it is today? What day is it today?
I don't know.
Do you know what month we're in?
No.
What city do we live in?
Does he have a history of dementia? Yeah. Okay. So generally, Tom said she's quite confused. Okay.
The patient's dementia complicates things because although she's having pain, she can't articulate her symptoms or how long she's had them. Can you do me a favor? Squeeze my hands. Okay, good.
How is she on a day-to-day basis, sir? Is she normally confused? Will she converse?
Is your breathing easy?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, are you dizzy?
No.
She had no sense of time, date.
Okay.
So your tummy's the worst?
Looks like an inferior STEMI.
The ECG shows the patient has a blockage in her heart. She's having a heart attack. We're gonna lift you and carry you outside to our bed, okay?
Okay. We're gonna put this other one way up here.
I feel bad for our patient. She's confused and not understanding why she would need to go to the hospital.
Hello? Hi, my name is Alicia. I'm a paramedic.
Okay.
I'm here with your mom.
Right. Well, what's the matter? Like, what happened?
Okay, there.
She is possibly having a heart attack.
What?
1, 2, 3.
I need to ask you a couple questions.
Let's get you covered up. You must be very cold.
In the event that her heart does stop, does she want CPR done?
Yes.
If she stopped breathing, would she want to be intubated?
Just do whatever it takes.
Okay.
The patient's daughter has asked for a full code, which means we'll do everything we possibly can to revive the patient.
Okay, so we are a full code. Everything.
Okay.
3 AVF?
Yeah, I'm just gonna do another one quickly now.
Do you want anything?
No, we just need to go.
We want to leave the scene as quick as possible. Any other treatment can be done on the way.
How many times have you thrown up today?
None.
None. Okay, do you remember fainting?
No.
No.
She's having a lot of trouble processing what's going on.
You have to throw up.
The patient's nauseous, and that's a symptom of a heart attack.
Sheila, can we speed up, please?
We need to get this patient to the cath lab to see cardiology.
We gotta go hot.
Now the question is why did he get tased?
Sometimes, Brett, it's better.
It's better not to know.
Better not to know.
For the police to tase someone, it has to be very serious. Is it a mental health issue? Is there weapons involved? We need to assess them to make sure that if they're being arrested, that they can actually go to jail, or they need to go to the hospital. So what happened?
So this young man's got all kinds of mental health issues and addictions issues.
Hey, how are we doing?
This is his dad's house. He came and forced his way in, got upset.
What's your name? Where did you get hit with this thing?
Barricaded himself in the bathroom with a machete. And so we've had a standoff here for about 4 or 5 hours. We lost contact with him.
Look, I just want to try and help you. Do you want to go to the back of our truck and we'll take a look at you where we have some good lighting?
Once we lost contact with him, we had to go down and kick the door. When we kicked the door, taser deployment, he was still armed.
Maybe let's take him to the back of the truck where we can get a set of vitals on him and then make a decision. Anytime you're dealing with someone who's on crystal meth or who has a mental illness background. Okay, just watch your head there. I'm gonna get you to sit right here on the bench, okay? We need to be very cautious with what we're doing. The patients can be extremely unpredictable. I'm just trying to help, okay? They can be violent. Can I take your blood pressure? Just goes around your arm. But you never know what you're gonna get or how quickly it's going to change on you. You're gonna feel that tighten up, okay?
This has been about a 4-hour standoff with this individual. Been using crystal meth tonight, so hard thing to determine whether or not it's drug related or it's just his mental health issues causing him problems tonight.
The police have spent their entire day with this guy, but they handled it with the minimum force necessary, and our patient was relatively uninjured when everything was said and done.
The end result in this scenario is he was not injured. And at the end, I hope he gets the help he needs.